Good evening.
Thank you for coming. Are you able to hear me? Because this is working. Yeah? There's no echo. So I was just wondering. This is a session that is organized by YMCA Singapore, and it happens at the moment once every 2 months. What we do is we have a session where we provide information to the public. It's free of charge, with no pressure to buy any product. Of course, we have products to sell, but no pressure to buy. This is free, so if you feel it's worthwhile the next time around, may I request you to bring more friends. This is more like a public education session. Today, the request was to ask, they had asked me to take on a very big topic actually. Nutritional needs of children. Now, apparently there was an exhibition over the weekend, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and focusing something for the children, and they felt that it would be useful in the same way to be able to address this area of nutrition for children. I think it is part of a bigger topic in the sense that we are looking at how to bring up better children. Singapore has excellence in many areas. Maybe I use that.
Yeah, the mic here. If you want to bring up a new generation, a generation of healthy children, mentally, physically, it's a huge topic actually. We have to deal with the mental aspects, the spiritual aspects, the academic part of it, the fitness part of it, how to keep children active, many areas. Now, today I'm going to focus only on the physical part. I'm not qualified to speak on the spiritual part or the, the career development part. There are many sections to it. Only the physical part. And I think that is the most important. Many people think, oh, the physics is nothing much, or it's the mental, the spiritual part. Let me tell you, even in the older beliefs, a spirit is looking for a body to express itself. No body, no spirit, you know. So you need a body. You can have a brain. You can't have a mind if you don't have a brain. And the brain is part of a body. You need a healthy body for the expression of all your talents. And it's very important. It's just like a car. You can have the best octane level of petrol that you pour in, but if the engine is not really good, it's not going to give you all that is possible from that kind of fuel. Now, so looking at that, Singapore is in a very unique situation. Here, bringing up good children starts even before getting married, and that's where the problem starts. Singapore government is very worried that many women here don't get married. I say women because the men somehow get married from elsewhere. But this is one of the casualties of a successful society. A woman needs many things. Most of it is provided by the government here. Income, housing, security. What more do you need? Why do you need a husband? He's more like a chain, you know, just to show off, is it? Or only to start a family, you know. So many of them hesitate while they are quite busy with their careers. What happens is you are aging, and then finally you reach a level where you feel, I'm used to this life, why not carry on like this, you know? Okay. I'm not here to solve that problem. Now, if you are looking to start a family, and we're talking about children, you need to plan at least 1 year ahead of having your child. If you plan to have a child, you must start 1 year before that. Why is that? It is believed that we renew our body, 95% of it minimum, in a year's time. So, if you want to put things right, that's when you start. So you get married, give yourself some time, and then you start renewing your body. How do you do that? Good living habits, good food, rest, stress reduction if possible, okay? Don't put too much weight, put on too much weight, okay? Now, this is not only for the woman. Generally, when they say to prepare somebody to have a family, focus is on the female. No, they have found that many diseases are transmitted through the sperm. So the husband also has to be equally careful. Men, don't forget that you contribute 50%. So you can't be just looking at only the quality of the 50%, the other 50%. There is one particular condition which is a very serious one. It's a cancer of the placenta. So when you get pregnant, the placenta, very few, can get cancerous. That condition is entirely carried by the sperm, not the female. So you've got to, both sides have to be careful. If you're a smoker, stop smoking. Okay? If you wish to continue to smoke, might as well burn yourself. Now, the best advertisement for non-smoking was I saw in a British magazine. It's a close-up of a person who is taking a drag. I don't know how many of you are smokers. The smokers, the best part is when they, you know. So the close-up of the photograph is close there, and the caption down there says, "You think you are a smoker? No, you are just a sucker at the other end." One side is burning, you are just a sucker at the other end. So smoking, you need to switch to very healthy habits within the limits of your capability and your financial capabilities. You know, in Singapore, I know stress levels are very high. You need to reduce stress levels. When you're very highly stressed, there is a particular hormone that goes up in your body. Now that hormone is quite destructive. Why is it there then? It is very good for an emergency. Stress levels were or inherent in our body to help us deal with emergencies. There's a sudden emergency, that hormone comes out, mobilizes everything in the body and helps us fight the stress. See? This is more for hunting, you know. It doesn't last very long. But in our societies, modern societies, stress levels last longer. So this hormone, which should be cleared from the system quickly, stays throughout the day. And that is why one of the side effects of this hormone is you like to eat heavy suppers, go home, you want to nibble something, because the body says you are under stress, you must be ready for action, and therefore you need more calories. And that's the reason that yearning for calories more at night is not towards salad and all that. It's more towards kway teow and really calorie-dense food, you see. Now what happens in our society? You put on weight. Now this hormone not only affects your weight problem, but also affects other hormones. Your growth hormone comes down. Your testosterone comes down. These are hormones that are very important for the female. Already we are 50% handicapped. Compared to 1 century ago, males produce 50% of the sperm they produced then. This is a very well-known fact. You may not realize this. So you're already handicapped. Now if you try to do things the wrong way or don't take care of yourself, you're going to handicap yourself further. I hope I've made my point. Both husband and wife have to prepare themselves if they want to have a healthy baby as a foundation. Then after conception, and let me put it this way, I'm going to break it up into pre-conception, and then after the delivery you have the infancy period, which is exactly about a year after birth, and then we have the childhood period. I divide it this way because the needs are different. Pre-conception is the parents who prepare themselves. Okay? So you prepare yourself. There have been many cases that over the years I've advised cannot conceive. Go for medical checkup, husband and wife completely normal. What's happening? There's no chemistry. So take a break. And they go on a holiday, not all, many of them conceive. Now a holiday, a 3-day break is not a holiday. 3-day is just to increase your stress level further. You're going on a holiday, you're looking for a new place to stay, new bed, you've got to look for your meals, you've got to look for so many things. By the time you get familiar, you've got to go back home. And all the work that you missed 3 days accumulated there. So this is, so if you are taking a break, you must take a 1 week break minimum. It takes 48 hours to 72 hours to settle down from the stress that you have. The moment you begin to feel bored on a holiday, that's when the holiday for the body starts. Okay, so many things to prepare here. Make sure everything is as the best that you can give. And the second part is the infancy. Okay, I am not talking about the pregnancy because there's so many restrictions by your gynecologist that you will get more than enough information there. What you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, and so on. Now, when the child is born, the first 2 years is very important. You have to give a milk-based diet. Now, many people think that milk is good. Milk is good only for babies, not for adults. You can drink it for pleasure. Don't drink it for nutrition. Many people, oh, without milk, I will not be able to get the calcium and I will just crumble. No, it doesn't work that way. Milk is not high in protein. Somehow many people seem to have the view. Milk is high in fat. Okay? One author says milk is made for cows. If you continue drinking milk, you look like a cow. It's fat mainly, very high calcium. Yes. Okay? Now, why is it like that? Babies need to literally double their weight in the first year or so. They need a lot of calcium because the bones are growing. Now they are doubling. Okay? But at the same time, doubling from 7 pounds to 14 pounds is not a lot. So the protein content is on the lower side. It's not very high. Okay? And a bit of minerals here and there. Okay? Which is regulated by the human body. So ideally speaking, the infancy period, if you can, breastfeed. That will be ideal. Breastfeeding is good for the baby, good for the mother. I'm sure many of you are exposed to the information. I'll just add on something here and there. They find that weight reduction with breastfeeding, everybody knows that, but studies show the weight reduction occurs more in the hips. And this is what women complain. I tend to get heavier in the hips after pregnancy. Now, if you breastfeed long enough, weight reduction, narrowing in the hip area is much better. Number one. Number two, the baby gets a lot of antibodies. You see, the first few months, the immune system of the baby is very, very immature. Immune system is not just bone marrow. The whole digestive system has a lot of immune tissue. Okay, so what you feed the baby is also important. So the moment you feed, give breast milk, which is the best thing. Now, if any antibodies come into that, immediately it's absorbed and is made use of and gives the baby quite a lot of protection. So within the confines of your commitment to work and your surrounding, try and breastfeed as much as you can. Not everybody can do it. Some of us are so tied up with our work, it's impossible. The home is somewhere, the working place is somewhere else, and you know. Okay, the next best thing would be to give an infant formula. Choose an infant formula carefully, okay? Choose the better ones. The cheaper ones, nothing wrong with that. The fat content seems to be a little higher. And another study, I mean, very reliable studies show, if the baby is not too fat, the mental development is a little faster. We all want our babies to be chubby. One patient brought a baby, he was so heavy, you know, and I said, what's the complaint? No appetite, la doctor. And I was about to say, good for him. If you tell that to the mother, they go bonkers, okay? Now, if you have a fat baby or very chubby baby, they find that their immune system is lower, learning capabilities slow down. It's not 100% rule, but a larger number of them take longer. So the special formulas are ideal. Okay, so feeding for the baby for the first year is exclusively milk formula. It's the second year that you introduce something solid. And some older generation are in a hurry to start the child on something solid. So 6 months, 7 months, rice, egg and fish and vegetables mashed up, yes, but do not do that. The digestive system of the baby is very immature. They do not have all the necessary enzymes to digest normal food. So when you give normal diet, solid diet, if the baby pushes it out, don't fight it back. He is obviously not ready. Okay? Now if you force it, what happens? Finally they take it and or they'll get used to it like never mind, taro, No. What happens is when you have an immature digestive system, the digestive system, by the way, is just a tube with mouth at one end and the other thing at the other end. Okay? The whole thing is to process the food that you're taking. There are a lot of immature areas. So digestion is incomplete. You have larger molecules and they can get in because there are gaps. Okay? And they sensitize the body to many of these molecules. So many of the children later in life will develop allergies. I've seen a generation of medical practice and I found that those days very complex drugs may give sensitivity reaction from some people. Today people are allergic to even Panadol. Surprising. That's something which you don't hear of those days. Now I think this is one of the reasons that contributes to it. There are other reasons. Okay, so start solids as the baby accepts it. Very important. Make sure it's easily digested, which means the food should be well cooked. Really break it down to small pieces, and give it slowly. Okay, so that's how you bring it. Now, once you come to the 2 years and plus, you are on usually solid diet. So when you come to solid diet, that's when the dietary requirements kick in. Now you've got to be careful how you start the child on the foods that the child is going to take. Now, there are 3 areas where we have to look at. One is the food that they eat and the drinks they take. They are going to eat and they are going to drink. And you got to be very sure that they are giving the best possible. Okay? A little bit about the diet. Now, for children, when you start them on the right diet, you'll be surprised. Much later in life, they stick to that diet. Okay? Maybe if I can be a little personal here, I have 2 children, 2 girls, and I and my wife are coffee drunkards. We all the time, we are literally addicted to coffee. Not so much now, dumb. So we decided this is not good. So our children are not going to have coffee or tea. So we didn't give them coffee or tea. We just brought them off on beverages, water and so on. They are adults now, settled down. They have no yearning for coffee or tea. Do they drink coffee or tea? They take half a cup once in a blue moon and they don't even finish it. You see? So I find that habits, and also feedback from patients, habits are more important, very easily incorporated when you're young, and later, even if you fall off the line, to get back is easier. Another example is smokers. They find that those who start smoking when they're young, churi smoking in school, very difficult to give up later in life because they started very young. There are some people who become executives and then take up smoking. They find that they can give up easier. Okay? And surprisingly, this is an additional factor, those who are heavy, 20 cigarettes or more, give up easier than the guys who smoke only 4 or 5 sticks or 6 sticks a day. Surprising, isn't it? But they find that these guys really enjoy their smoke. Only 5 sticks a day, you see, so they don't give up easily. The 20 get sick of smoking after a while. Too much, so they say, okay, I'll stop now. So, dietary habits early in life, very important. What you give them, what food to give. When you take up a book on diet, so many explanations to remember, so many reasons to remember. Let me give you just 2 or 3 simple cues now. One, you must be able to recognize the food. If you recognize it as chicken, fish, udang, rice, Yes, it's eatable. You open a packet, you don't know what it is, all pressed into one flat thing. These are the things you must minimize or eliminate. Okay? So make sure that you serve food that's recognizable. That means the closer it is to the original state, the better it is. Vegetables, fruits, meat, egg, and so on. When you go on to fast food, there's no way we can escape, so minimize it. In fact, if you ask me, make your own burger. It's not difficult. If you get some meat, grounded meat, you can get good grounded meat, make it into a patties, put it in good bread and serve it to the children as burger. They will not eat burger outside because no burger will taste like that. No burger has got 100% meat, and yours will be the juiciest burger that you can serve. Okay, but they will still want to go because of the peer pressure. Once in a while, that's okay. So make sure that their diet is right. What they eat in school is very important. Okay, it has to be regulated, but you can't regulate the stuff because anything and everything is sold in school. So what happens? You have to be the advisor. Okay, you have to teach your child. You have to advise them and tell them, and you will be surprised how receptive children are, how willing they are to change when you explain things to them. We think that no, you don't worry, just listen to me, do this, and you think that would work best. It doesn't really. Even very small children, if you explain, this is this can cause this, you just explain it to them like almost an adult, you'll be surprised, at least 50% sinks in. And the part that doesn't sink in, they know there's something good there because a loved one is explaining it, a father or mother, and they will take it and they will listen to you. So the diet part is very important. Then we come to the drinks. Now, most children nowadays don't drink water very much because there's no taste in water. Now, I don't know what's the situation in Singapore. Singapore has the best water in the world. Did you know that? I think it was the year 2001, I think. I attended an anti-aging conference in Singapore. That was the first one being conducted here. The American one, it's an international conference. And they said Singapore water is the best in the world. It's the cleanest. Taste is another matter. Okay? Water generally is not tasty. The taste comes when you take it from the ground. It has got a few minerals in it, and the taste is a little better. Okay? I remember going to Fiji, and Fiji is where they produce Fiji water. I don't see the bottle here. It's a small bottle, squarish looking. The water tastes different. I don't know why. And it's very expensive outside Fiji. In Fiji, it's very cheap. Very nice water. Tiger Woods always carries Fiji water. So water generally doesn't taste that well. How do you make them drink water? For that matter, vegetable. Why do our children don't eat vegetables? Because today's vegetables do not have enough minerals. So when you take the vegetable, not that tasty, no matter how well you cook. Okay? These are the handicaps, and we'll give you some solutions later. Now, so what do you do about the water? It's a very simple matter. Get lime. Which is the big one? Lemon is the bigger one. Just lemon. Cut 2 slices, put it into a jug of filtered water and keep it on the table. Water tastes different. That little bit of difference will make the child drink more. What's more, that water is more alkaline, which is good for your body. A small move like that, think of something like that, keep it on the table, okay? This is for you. Before you go to bed, finish this. So you not only know the amount of fluids taken, and the child knows it, and he likes to drink it because the taste is a little different. Okay? Make sure that the fluids drunk are healthy. It's because of this they switch to Coca-Cola and stuff like that. Now don't get me wrong, Coca-Cola has its use. In the US, I don't know whether they do this now, the police used to carry a jerry can of Coke. Okay? When they go to an accident site after the reports, if there's any blood there, they pour Coke on it. Because it is so acidic, it will clear the burn off everything. So Coca-Cola is acidic. Now, is that bad? No, there are areas that you can use it. You had a very heavy meal. You ate more than you expected. take a little bit of Coke. It helps in the digestion. But don't make it a habit, see? So it can be used in a positive way. Now, so indulge your children once in a while so that they know what is happening outside. Okay? Because if they encounter this after they go out of your supervision, there's nobody to explain it. So let them encounter this while you're there and explain to them what it is. What they drink is very important. So water. Water is the best solution. In fact, one of the rules for weight reduction is don't drink calories. Water is actually no calories. Any other drink has got calories unless absolutely necessary. Yeah? Then under drinks, I would say there are two categories. One is pleasure, the other one is play. Now when they play games, children tend to exert themselves more than they realize. And therefore they lose a lot of electrolytes. And what do? They go for fizzy drinks. Because somehow that satisfies the mouth. The feeling that something extra is coming in. Actually nothing extra, it's only gas. Okay? But that feeling is important when after effort. And that's the reason many gymnasiums have these fizzy drinks. I used to wonder why. This is the most unhealthy drink, and you put it in a gymnasium, and you will find some of the upmarket gymnasium unlimited drinks. Most of it is fizzy stuff. They find that when you're playing games, you take something like that, stimulates you, and you can perform better. You're not hydrated, but it gives you that stimulation for that time being. Okay? So these are the areas you would want to look. And I'm talking only about diet. Okay? As I said, bringing up a child in the best way possible requires a lot of effort, a lot of planning in many other areas. If you get this right, many other things will go right. What am I trying to say? They find that there's a lot of disorientation in sexual expression. Very sensitive topic. The incidence of lesbianism and homosexuality is rising. Many people think, no, last time we don't talk about it, now we talk about it, that's why it looks like that. Figures actually show that it is rising in very modern societies. Why is that? I'm sure there are social reasons, there are spiritual reasons, okay? But there is also a physical reason. Why I say that is, in North America, there is a river in which a lot of these chemicals were dumped by a company. You're not supposed to dump them there, but they were doing it illegally. And they found that studies on the fish in that area showed certain species died off. A few other species were born one eye, no fin, all kinds of malformations. And they saw a third kind of variation. They were shocked. Male fish became female fish. Amazing, isn't it? Difficult to believe. This was many years ago, but now we know why. Many of these industrial chemicals resemble very closely estrogen. Have you heard of the word xenoestrogen, which is now being used quite often? Xenoestrogen. Estrogen is a female hormone. Many chemicals that we use in our industrial practice and so on in the environment resemble that. Now when that gets into the body, it can disrupt your endocrine system. It can disrupt your hormonal system, a little bit, and then more. Over the years it accumulates. I'm just wondering whether that could be one of the contributing reasons for this. You see how a small thing like a drink can do that? We all drink from plastic bottles. Plastic bottles all have xenoestrogens. In fact, Ministry of Health in Malaysia, which never gives any health warning, went out of the way to give a health warning to say, don't use your plastic water bottles a second time. What they probably should have said is don't use it at all. But, you're traveling, you need some water and so on. They said don't use it because the amount of chemical that leaches from the plastic from which it is made contains some chemicals which are xenoestrogens. And that goes for everything. And we use disposable cups almost everywhere. In fact, the only safe container is a glass container or stainless steel. Now, glass will break, stainless container makes a lot of noise when it falls down. You cannot dispose it off, you got to wash and so on. But that is the best way to avoid this. Okay? So what you drink can bring in a lot of stuff that you don't need. And that's why it's important that you drink clean water. You need to have a good filter in your home and make sure that they drink enough fluids by avoiding these expensive beverages, which may be harmful if you take too much of it. I knew a patient who was working in the estates in Malaysia. This was many years ago. The estate was not very modernized. The water supply there is from the well, and he is from town, so he was not happy to drink that water. He used to buy cans and cans of Coca-Cola and keep it in the house. Thirsty, drink Coke. Those days we didn't know much of the dangers of Coca-Cola. Okay? By the time he retired, he was not feeling too well. He went for a checkup. They found huge stones in both kidneys. I'm not saying this will happen to all Coca-Cola drinkers, or whether that person's stones were formed exclusively by Coca-Cola. But I'm sure it played a major role in his hydration and the fact that the wrong salts were concentrated in the kidney extract. So what happens? You start developing this. That happens over a period of years. It doesn't happen overnight. So drinking fluids that are not meant for you, and I used to joke with him before they diagnosed. After that, I dare not joke. I used to say, if I withdraw blood for checking from you, only Coca-Cola will come out. Not blood. What you drink is very important. What you eat is very important. Okay. Now, Vima is a company that gives you some solution to this. We have something that we can offer you in each of this situation. Before that, let me tell you a little bit about the company. There are many companies that produce nutritional products. In the United States, there are more than 10,000 nutritional products. Now, how are we to choose from that? It's not easy. All the studies that have been done show that if you are normal, you have no medical problem, you need to take a basic multivitamin tablet. Now, this is endorsed by Johns Hopkins itself. Only in the last few years, the medical faculty has come out and said, for health, like finally, like no choice, had to say it because the research shows that you really do need. The diet is so deficient in our basic vitamins that to fill in the blanks, you need to take a good multivitamin. Okay? When we talk about multivitamins, we also have to speak about minerals, something that we don't touch about in our supplements. The foods that we eat do not have much minerals. If you go to a rural area and you have a very simple meal there, I don't know whether you all had a chance to go to Malaysia, to a kampong area and get served by food that was grown in the garden and cooked. If you try that, you have a simple meal, you feel very satisfied. You feel that you don't need any food, no other bites are needed further. That satisfaction comes only when the nutrition in the food is complete, particularly the minerals. When the minerals are there, including vitamins, protein and so on, but including minerals, even if you eat a little bit of it, but the right amount, you feel very satisfied. Fruits that come from organic gardens are more satisfying. You find that you eat smaller amounts, but you feel satisfied. This kind of satisfaction comes from a complete nutrition presented to your body. Your body says, yeah, I've got what I want, enough. When you don't have that, then you can eat till here and you feel full. But if you see some chocolate cake, you want to eat it. That kind of urge comes from a diet that is deficient in some nutrition. That's the first thing you must realize. So minerals are also very important. You need your basic vitamins, you need your basic minerals. In today's world, we are exposed to a lot of things. The last visit I had here, I think I saw it in the bus. 1 in 4 Singaporeans get cancer. I think somewhere on the bus, the Cancer Society has advertised, which is true. And that figure was never published so broadly before. I always quote it in my talks, but they never did that openly, you know. And you know what's the reason? The main reason they find that you have increase in cancer is a disruption of your normal cell by chemicals in the environment or diet that has come into your system and disrupted that chemical action that goes on. Every cell in the body has got at least 10,000 chemical reactions taking place in a day. We have 10 trillion cells, and I'm quoting a very low figure. There's a lot of activity. So if you get foreign substances which are chemicals getting inside, it will disrupt it. Initially the body will overcome that. Over a period of time, no, it's going to be compromised. What sort of chemicals? Every and any source. I'll just explain one part of it. On an average, a woman uses anything from 12 to 15 personal care products. I can't think of a chemical that is applied to all parts of the body so religiously every day, which may be even harmful. This is not to say that don't use soap, don't do anything. Okay? There are personal care products without harmful ingredients or minimal, but generally speaking, if you look at what is available, there's a lot of chemicals there, and skin is not just a barrier. Many people think it's a barrier. It is also a carrier. It absorbs. For example, if you take a bath in a swimming pool with very high chlorine, you absorb chlorine. Studies show that long term, this thing can affect your lungs. Long continued absorption of chlorine. And in public pools, they put extra chlorine because too many people are swimming. See? So this is not to say don't go for swimming, but if you have to go, make sure you finish your work and get out fast and quickly have a bath. Now they find that if the hotter the water is, like in your normal house, if you're used to using hot water, actually in our climate we don't need hot water to bathe, but we are so used to it, you know. The hotter it is, the more you absorb into the body if it has got chlorine. Singapore water is much cleaner than water elsewhere, so probably you absorb less. But Singapore is such a close, dense population. The government rightfully is very careful about infection, and therefore they try to keep the place chemically clean, which is good from the public health side. Anywhere, spray, wipe. Okay, go to hospital, you know, wipe also got, you know, wipe free, you know, just people. I see some people are very happy, you know. Actually, that is good. It clears the bacteria, viruses, but it also has chemicals which get absorbed into the system. Use it when you have to. Don't overuse it. Okay. Now, this kind of chemicals, how many? It has been estimated that we are exposed to about 60 to 70,000 chemicals in the environment. One person may not come into contact with all of that, and they have done. You see, now we have laboratory tests that can trace chemicals in the body up to 1 in a billion parts, and they have checked people at random, and they find that in an average person carries about 200 to 300 chemicals in the blood. Amazing, isn't it? You are going to get bushwhacked later. You know, this is where cancer comes in. Disruption of all the chemicals, and you set off the cell to divide without control. What is cancer? Cancer is cells dividing without control. You have a cut here, the cells decide and heal. The moment the two surfaces touch, there is a signaling that goes on. No more division, stop. When that division doesn't stop, you get cancer. Now it can happen inside, not necessarily outside. So over a period of time, what you eat, what you drink is very important. Now let's talk about what WIMA has to offer. Why WIMA? Okay, because this is one of the few companies that formulates the product in-house, that produces it in-house, and does the marketing in-house. Okay, 95% of companies don't do that. They don't have the resources. I am a company that I'm trying to market some product. I get it from a factory where the products are made. So it's a third party. That factory will also be making products for other companies. Their specialty is only production. Okay, they may be a herbal company, maybe a vitamin company, maybe a mineral company. Okay. Now, with Vima, the products are all done in-house. Many companies will boast that, oh, we have a scientific team of 20 scientists. And if you look at their portfolio, you will find that the 20 scientists are working for some other company. Okay? They come over here once in a while to have a meeting and they consult. So it's literally on a consultation basis. The team that we have in Vima is full-time, in-house, exclusive only for Vima. And this is important. This way, you find that you have actually narrowed down to about 3 to 5% of all the nutritional companies that are available in the US. This is where we are able to stick to our quality. Personally speaking, I would like to have a little bit of preservatives in our product so that it can last longer. But Vima insists they do not want to put in any preservatives. Now that's a big plus for consumers actually. Now many people come and say, oh, your product got preservatives, a little bit is okay. Now we must realize that preservatives, not everything is bad. A certain amount, the body eliminates it. Many people one of the first questions I ask them is, how do you like your meat? Fried or soup? Take the attention off the main question now. They will say, yeah, I like it soup, Did you know that the meat that you use has got one helping, has got more preservatives than in 1 month's supply of any nutritional product? Then it really hits them hard. Most of the meat, bihun, the meat, Maggi mee, don't talk. Anything that's packed. Once you put it into a packet, you have to add certain things. Preservatives, coloring matter, taste enhancers, salt to preserve the whole thing. The amount of sodium in any packed food is very high. And by the way, sodium is also found in high amounts in sambal, curry, and so on. So many people start reducing their salt in other things and make the taste of food very poor, while walloping the real sodium, the harmful sodium, from all the other stuff. You take chili sauce, you take ketchup, chili sauce. 1 tablespoon of chili sauce has sugar equivalent to half a teaspoon inside that. This is talking only about sugar, okay? And the amount of preservatives and coloring matter that go in is very heavy, okay? But when you offer a nutritional product, they'll be very worried about the preservatives that's going in there. Have you got parabens and this and that, By the way, Vima doesn't have all that, And that's the reason we have to have our products move very fast. I hope you can help us by buying it. Now, so this is the team that makes up the Vima HQ, you can say, our factory. It's in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's a very upmarket area. The factory that produces nutritional products need not be certified by FDA, Food and Drug Administration in the US, which is very strict. They are very strict with drug companies, and they've got certain protocol for drug production. You must satisfy that to be stamped approved. Okay? Nutritional companies, no, it's okay, because this drug, 5 milligrams, you put 6 milligrams, the guy might die. Here, vitamin A, 5,000 international units. You put 5,500, nobody is going to die. So, they are very lax on that. There's no need for registration with FDA. Now, we are one of the few, not the only one of the very few factories which produce nutritional products which is FDA compliant. Okay? Now, for our Muslim friends here, we have got halal certification for all our products from the United States itself. The halal certificate for the full list, we just got it this month. Okay, and this is something that we do every year. It's not one certificate and then we forget about the whole thing, So it is renewed every year. Okay, which means they check our sources where we get our raw material and so on, and then only they will issue the certificate. This is from the Islamic body in the United States itself. So the product is safe, it is compliant to all our cultural and religious needs. Now look at the quality, okay? Now while talking about the quality, I want to tell you where it fits in, okay? Now for diet, we have what is called VMA. Though the company's name is VMA, the product is also VMA. It's a liquid product. It has got 12 full spectrum vitamins. It has got 65 micro minerals. Minerals are very important. In a cell, take magnesium. We know now, many years ago it was about 50 to 100. Now we know it's involved in more than 300 chemical reactions. Just magnesium alone. Do you know that our body needs gold? Our body needs silver in very micro amounts. So in the old days, when they put artificial teeth, put gold artificial teeth, it is not only to show off that you are rich, it also is long lasting. And they find that over a period of time, it doesn't affect your health. But later we switched on to mercury. Okay? Mercury is bad for your health. Studies very clearly show some European countries have already banned mercury fillings. But if you, I don't know about Singapore and Malaysia, if you ask the dentist, no, Allah, quite safe, don't worry. Okay? Now, anyone has mercury fillings, please remove it.
I'm going to change mine to gold.
And put composite, which is a non-metallic filling. Very important. Of course, if you have the money, put in gold. It's even more long-lasting. But platinum. But if you're coming over to Malaysia, don't put on gold teeth. Security may be a problem. Now, we need very rare minerals, chromium. We need very little of it. Hardly 50 to 200 micrograms. And that's important for sugar regulation. Selenium, another mineral we need, maximum is 200 micrograms. That's very important to prevent cancer, heart disease, and so on. Contributes to that. So many of these are needed. Now where do we get it from? We get it from vegetables. Wow. So you have to process a lot of vegetables. Fortunately, nature has already done this. Now this is a bit of a long story. Now in the ancient world, the vegetation was very healthy because it had a lot of minerals. Why? Because there were a lot of volcanic eruptions all over the place. A lot of minerals get thrown up from inside the, below the ground level to up. So this vegetation was very, very lush and full of nutrition. That is why they were able to support dinosaurs. A huge body, you need to have a lot of nutrition. That world came to an end. How it came, we don't know, to an end. But the whole surface got turned up and down. Now in that process, many of these forests were compressed by soil. So they became second layer, subsequently third layer, fourth layer, and so on. So under compression, these vegetables were crushed, broken, and the contents were released into the soil, never to be recovered. The remainder, the fiber part of it, gets compressed. After a certain time and amount of compression, it becomes coal. Compression over a longer period, further it becomes diamond. So actually diamond is compressed charcoal. Now certain parts of the world, because of the varying heights of the soil, some parts of the land is below sea level. So where the vegetation is crushed, if there is a cliff area, some of this contents drip out. And if you have a water body there, you will find that you find a lot of it there. One such place is Utah, where there's a salt lake. That's why the capital city there is called Salt Lake City. Now you get a salt lake if the lake is lower than sea level and the water cannot run off the sea. Now those areas, heavy mineral content from original vegetable sources. That is extracted from there, refined, cleaned, and added to our product. Okay? Now that is the original vegetable source of minerals. Why do I stress this? Vegetable source. Because they are organic. The opposite of that is inorganic. What's the difference? We need iron. Would you like to eat green, dark green vegetables full of iron, or would you prefer iron filings? Iron filings, it's not going to work. The body cannot absorb it, they cannot utilize it. Sometimes the body works very hard and absorbs some of it. Calcium, for example. Many people are taking calcium tablets, especially women after menopause. Please don't take that, because now they find this calcium is actually deposited elsewhere, not in your bones. A lot of it goes to your blood vessels in the heart, causes more heart problems. Okay, so if the calcium or the iron is from vegetable, the body uses it better. But if you look at the chemical formula, also iron is Fe here also Fe. What's the difference? Here in vegetable, it is tied to a protein moiety. In other words, the molecule is larger, but somehow the body is able to use that better. So we require minerals, not any minerals, must be from a vegetable source. Okay? So that is what we provide here. 65 minerals, 12 full range vitamins, full spectrum. Now vitamin B, for example, it doesn't work if you take only 1 or 2 or 3. Vitamin B has got several parts, B1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 12, and so on. What about the missing one, B4, B9? Now, this is a small story behind B complex. When they discovered vitamin B, they had other groups, So they said 1, okay, 2, the next one 3, and then they classified 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up to about 17. Then they found some of them are not actually vitamins now. So they took it out. So if you look at the B complex, you will see some numbers missing. It is for this reason. Okay? So you have the full B complex, number 1. Number 2, when the B complex 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is not proportion to each other, the utilization is upset. There are some formulas in the market, 50 milligrams of each. Wow. What you need is only 1.2 of this, 2.7 of that, and so on. But they give you 50 or 6. Must be better, same price. Wow, this is really good. This creates a deficiency in the body. Good. How is that? Because they are not balanced. So what happens? Too much of something, it will, to work, it will look for its partner, which is equal amount. If the proportion is not there, it adds stress to the body. So when you take this 50 milligrams thing, not all, many will start getting a headache because the body is trying to do something to cope with it. You can't, and then the whole thing comes out. Proportion is very important. This is full spectrum B complex, proportionately done. Okay, 65 micro minerals. We have also added antioxidants. Now this has become a very important part in modern day nutrition. We find research now shows that the aging process, when you look at it clinically, blood tests, hormone tests, all finally filters down at the molecular level to a process called free radical activity. Okay? Don't ask what it is. Very complicated. The guy who proposed it got interested in it as a young man in school and took up medicine just to do research in that, and he came out with the theory. Okay? Now, this free radical activity, when it is explained very simply, the processes in the body and in the environment produces radicals. Radicals are breakaway molecules which are not complete. So to complete it, they behave in a very radical way, looking for a partner. Okay? And they will pick up electrons from the molecules that form part of your cell structure. So when they do that, they form a dent, a kink in your cells and in your chemistry. That's how things break down, we get older. Okay? Why is such a thing taking place in the body? This action is actually good for us. It can break down the foreign substances that get into the body, the bacteria, the viruses that get into the body. Unfortunately, in today's situation, excess of free radical activity Too much heat, free radical activity increases. Overeating, free radical activity increases. Lack of sleep, stress, smoking, eating a lot of fried food, all this increases free radical activity. So we need to neutralize it to some extent. That's why they say eat more vegetables and fruits, because these are the things that contains large amounts of antioxidants. Okay, now antioxidants, our main source, or rather three sources we have. One is mangosteen, the other one is aloe vera and green tea. All proven sources, no experimental sources. Mangosteen is so well known, very broad range of antioxidants. Antioxidants work better if you get it not one type, resveratrol, which is a very powerful one, but taking only resveratrol is not enough. You must take a variety of it. Okay? Now, variety of this antioxidants, mangosteen has got one of the widest varieties in nature. And here, the extract is from the skin also. It's not just the fruit, the whole fruit. Okay? Aloe vera, one of the few products in the market that's been around for 30 years, proven. Okay? Green tea. Japanese are one of the heaviest smokers in the world. Incidence of lung cancer very low. A lot of studies reveal that this could be a major source that gives them the protection. Okay? So, taken the antioxidants from this and put into the product. Now, here is a product that can be taken by all children who are already on normal diet. It's in liquid form, so no child can say, I can't swallow it. This is one major problem in the clinic, you know. The guy will look this big, 10 years old, very big. You look at him, he's overeating. But give him a small tablet, cannot swallow. And they really can't swallow. You put it in their mouth, give water, the tablet is still there. These problems don't come with this, you know, with liquid. Of course, other people also can use it. I mean, elderly people who find it difficult to. Elderly people can swallow tablets, but they always complain. You give them 2-3 tablets, oh, stomach full already. 2-3 tablets, but because of the water or whatever, or the processing part that makes them feel full, oh yeah, appetite also gone down. Now, why so many tablets, you know? Now, so this is presented in liquid form. Liquid form, easy consumption, but the major part is the increase in absorption. Our digestive systems are compromised by the food that we eat. There's very little food that we do not do some heavy cooking with high temperatures. In fact, they find that any food that is a little bit of oil and taken to a high temperature can affect our stomach. So it's better to avoid as much oil as possible, or fats. Okay? Now, absorption is affected because the lining gets a little inflamed. In fact, if you ask patients, I read many of these reports, SCOPY, they look into the stomach. I have yet to see a report which says the stomach is normal. Everybody's stomach is either reddish or inflamed or got erosions, even when they don't have stomach problems. That's the kind of abuse we do to our stomachs by eating the varied kind of diet that we do. See? So absorption capacity is on the lower side, and it will help if you take a liquid product, because the processing is much quicker. It is, you can say, pre-digested when it's in liquid form. Okay? Now, this is what you need to give your children to make sure that they get the nutrition that they may be missing in the diet. Okay? 1 ounce, they will get their daily requirement. For an adult, that will be 50%. But for children, just 1 ounce, which is not very much. You will have a problem to stop them at 1 ounce, because it tastes so good once it is in the fridge. They might whack it. Okay? So this is a general thing. When they go out for pleasure, we have another drink for them to take away the yearning for Coca-Cola. This is called Verve. Okay? This comes in a can, ready-made to drink. It is fizzy. It is not a pleasure drink only. It is a nutritious pleasure drink. In fact, if today I'm going for some small games or something, I mean, I'm talking about a teenager, and then he wants to have a fast drink, Coke or something, give him a can of Worth. With that, his desire for Coke will be satisfied because it is fizzy, very tasty. I would say tastier than Coca-Cola. And you know what? In that consumption, he is able to get all his nutritional requirement. We have added 1 ounce of the Vima juice into this Worth. Okay? We didn't stop there because this is after a game. We have also added amino acid called taurine. Now, taurine is an amino acid which enhances the action of antioxidants. It also enhances the function of the muscle by helping the muscle to release energy. Now, taurine is one of the few substances that gets into the circulation and can cross and go into the brain. The brain is a very important organ, and therefore there's a special barrier. When blood goes to the brain, not all substances in the brain can cross over into the brain. The brain has got its own circulation of clear fluid. So this block there is called a barrier, the blood-brain barrier. Not many substances can go through it. Not many nutritional substances can go through it. Our antioxidants can go through it. Taurine can go through it to enhance the antioxidant effect. Okay, 1,000 milligrams. That's very good actually, and that doesn't come cheap. 1,000 milligrams, you will see it only in bodybuilding magazines. I mean supplements. Okay. Now we have also added. This is a simple sugar, not glucose. It's another kind of sugar called D-ribose. This sugar is very specific because it helps in the function of the heart cells. So if you are involved in sports, taking this drink will make you revive very fast. Or if you're just sitting at home and we get this in the afternoon, a bit low energy level, you like some fizzy drink which will perk you up, this is ideal because it not only perks you up, it gives you the nutrition also. So the perk up will not die down very fast. If you take Red Bull, you get perked up. That's why that drink is popular. It really works. Very high caffeine, very high sugar. You get a nice. Now what happens is the sugar level will go up. Then you get a perk. What happens in the body is then it has to come down. The body will put out a lot of insulin, push it back down. When it's high, it doesn't push back to normal. It pushes it below normal before it springs into normal. When it gets below normal, that is when you feel you need another can of Red Bull. So this kind of yo-yo, they find, contributes to obesity, contributes to diabetes later in life. Okay? Now, here we have given in Worth, in addition to all that, 75 milligrams of caffeine. How do I compare? Now, if you take a small cup of ordinary coffee, that is 75 milligrams. Coffee goes on to brew coffee, drip coffee, Starbucks, and so on. The maximum it goes up to is about 150 to 165 milligrams. What we have given is the minimum possible. That is where coffee becomes beneficial. I'm sure some of you have read literature on this or articles. Coffee, they say, is beneficial for you. Coffee itself is an antioxidant up to a certain concentration. Okay? So this is the lowest concentration that you need for that. So we have added this coffee, or rather caffeine. Okay? What is the sugar content there? Very low. Now that can be measured by calories. So someone who is saying, hey, I want to take this for pleasure, but will I put on weight? You're looking at 70 calories. Plus or minus 2 or 3, depending on whether you spill here and there. Okay? Very low. Now how does it compare? A normal diet for a growing teenager you're looking at 2,500 calories, because that guy is not only growing, he's also spending a lot of energy. So you've got to give him, cover up that, plus the repair, plus the growth. And I'm talking about minimum. Some guys can wall up about 3,000. So when you're looking at 70 to 75 at the most, you will vary a little bit. It's nothing to talk about. If you ask me, this can be consumed by even diabetic patient. A diabetic patient needs about 1,200 a day, average. Okay, 70, nothing. So a diabetic feels like taking Coca-Cola and wall up this. Okay, now this is for pleasure. Now these young guys are also going to play, and we have another product for you. They go out playing games, heavy games. They need something to replace their electrolytes. Okay, we have a product called Thirst, to quench their thirst, to support their body. So we call it body thirst. Okay. Now this drink is an electrolyte drink. It supplies extra sodium, potassium, and so on. Because when you sweat, that's what you lose. Okay. It gives you electrolytes. We have 3 amino acids in body thirst that will support your musculature. Now this is not protein for your daily requirement, no. It is just enough. You see, when you play and all that, when you're expending energy, what you're doing is you're breaking down your body. You're not building up your body. You're not building up your stamina. You're breaking down, break. When you sleep and the body repairs, that's when everything builds up. So during this breakdown period, they find that those who play long hours can actually break down their muscle. You look at a long distance runner, you look at a sprinter, you can see the difference. These guys run for hours and they really are looking lean. If you look at the sprinters, some of the Olympic sprinters, they look like bodybuilders. So long hours of playing actually breaks down your muscle, body muscle. Of course it builds up later. Now this one, with this body thirst, has got 3 amino acids which will prevent the breakdown of muscle even while you're playing. Excessive play. Okay? So if I may summarize this, we have a general product called Vima, something for games, and something for pleasure, all for the children and the teenage group. So this will actually give them a good protection so that they don't get addicted to commercial products. Occasionally they will do that, but that's okay. You will be minimizing this harmful effect. Okay? I'm going to stop here, and I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask on the products, about erosions, even when they don't have stomach problems. That's the kind of abuse we do to our stomachs by eating the very kind of diet that we do. See? So absorption capacity is on the lower side, and it will help if you take a liquid product because the processing is much quicker. It is, you can say, pre-digested when it's in liquid form. Okay? Now, this is what you need to give your children to make sure that they get the nutrition that they may be missing in the diet. Okay? 1 ounce, they will get their daily requirement. For an adult, that will be 50%. But for children, just 1 ounce, which is not very much. You will have a problem to stop them at 1 ounce because it tastes so good once it is in the fridge. They might back it. Okay? So this is a general thing. When they go out for pleasure, we have another drink for them to take away the yearning for Coca-Cola. This is called Verve. Okay? This comes in a can, ready-made to drink. It is fizzy. It is not a pleasure drink only. It is a nutritious pleasure drink. In fact, If today I'm going for some small games or something, I mean, I'm talking about a teenager, and then he wants to have a fast drink, Coke or something, give him a can of Worth. With that, his desire for Coke will be satisfied because it is fizzy, very tasty. I would say tastier than Coca-Cola. And you know what? In that consumption, he is able to get all his nutritional requirement. We have added 1 ounce of the Vima juice into this Worth. Okay? We didn't stop there because this is after a game. We have also added amino acid called taurine. Now, taurine is an amino acid which enhances the action of antioxidants. It also enhances the function of the muscle by helping the muscle to release energy. Now, taurine is one of the few substances that gets into the circulation and can cross and go into the brain. The brain is a very important organ, and therefore there's a special barrier. When blood goes to the brain, not all substances in the brain can cross over into the brain. The brain has got its own circulation of clear fluid. So this block there is called a barrier, the blood-brain barrier. Not many substances can go through it. Not many nutritional substances can go through it. Our antioxidants can go through it. Taurine can go through it to enhance the antioxidant effect. Okay, 1,000 milligrams. That's very good actually, and that doesn't come cheap. 1,000 milligrams, you will see it only in bodybuilding magazines. I mean supplements. Okay. Now we have also added. This is a simple sugar, not glucose. It's another kind of sugar called D-ribose. This sugar is very specific because it helps in the function of the heart cells. So if you are involved in sports, taking this drink will make you revive very fast. Or if you're just sitting at home and we get this in the afternoon, a bit low energy level, you like some fizzy drink which will perk you up. This is ideal because it not only perks you up, it gives you the nutrition also. So the perk up will not die down very fast. If you take Red Bull, you get perked up. That's why that drink is popular. It really works. Very high caffeine, very high sugar. You get a nice. Now what happens is the sugar level will go up. Then you get a perk. What happens in the body is then it has to come down. The body will put out a lot of insulin, push it back down. When it's high, it doesn't push back to normal. It pushes it below normal before it springs into normal. When it gets below normal, that is when you feel you need another can of Red Bull. So this kind of yo-yo, they find, contributes to obesity, contributes to diabetes later in life. Okay? Now, here we have given in Worth, in addition to all that, 75 milligrams of caffeine. How do I compare? Now, if you take a small cup of ordinary coffee, that is 75 milligrams. Coffee goes on to brew coffee, drip coffee, Starbucks, and so on. The maximum it goes up to is about 150 to 165 milligrams. What we have given is the minimum possible. That is where coffee becomes beneficial. I'm sure some of you have read literature on this or articles. Coffee, they say, is beneficial for you. Coffee itself is an antioxidant up to a certain concentration. Okay? So this is the lowest concentration that you need for that. So we have added this coffee, or rather caffeine. Okay? What is the sugar content there? Very low. Now that can be measured by calories. So someone who is saying, hey, I want to take this for pleasure, but will I put on weight? You're looking at 70 calories. Plus or minus 2 or 3, depending on whether you spill here and there. Okay? Very low. Now how does it compare? A normal diet for a growing teenager, you're looking at 2,500 calories, because that guy is not only growing, he's also spending a lot of energy. So you've got to give him, cover up that, plus the repair, plus the growth. And I'm talking about minimum. Some guys can wall up about 3,000. So when you're looking at 70 to 75 at the most, you will vary a little bit. It's nothing to talk about. If you ask me, this can be consumed by even diabetic patient. A diabetic patient needs about 1,200 a day, average. Okay, 70, nothing. So a diabetic feels like taking Coca-Cola and wall up this. Okay, now this is for pleasure. Now these young guys are also going to play, and we have another product for you. They go out playing games, heavy games. They need something to replace their electrolytes. Okay, we have a product called Thirst to quench their thirst, to support their body. So we call it body thirst. Okay. Now this drink is an electrolyte drink. It supplies extra sodium, potassium, and so on. Because when you sweat, that's what you lose. Okay. It gives you electrolytes. We have 3 amino acids in body thirst that will support your musculature. Now this is not protein for your daily requirement, no. It is just enough. You see, when you play and all that, when you're expending energy, what you're doing is you're breaking down your body. You're not building up your body. You're not building up your stamina. You're breaking down, break. When you sleep and the body repairs, that's when everything builds up. So during this breakdown period, they find that those who play long hours can actually break down their muscle. You look at a long distance runner, you look at a sprinter, you can see the difference. These guys run for hours and they're really looking lean. You know? If you look at the sprinters, some of the Olympic sprinters, they look like bodybuilders. So long hours of playing actually breaks down your muscle, body muscle. Of course, it builds up later. Now this one, with this body thirst, has got 3 amino acids which will prevent the breakdown of muscle even while you're playing. Excessive playing. Okay? So if I may summarize this, we have a general product called Vima, something for games, and something for pleasure, all for the children and the teenage group. So this will actually give them a good protection so that they don't get addicted to commercial products. Occasionally they will do that, but that's okay. You will be minimizing this harmful effect. Okay? I'm going to stop here, and I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask on the products. Before you get a detectable, obvious, observable disease, some things are happening. Things are going wrong. And it comes to a certain stage where the body cannot cope with it, then you get the disease. Okay? Now, once you get the disease, there have been changes in your cell structure, tissue structure. Most of the time, it is not reversible. Will our products help? It will help to give the patient nutrition. So what will happen? It may slow down the progress of the disease further, because now you're getting proper nutrition. Okay? Will it reverse the disease? We have occasional reports, not Parkinson, but other things, but it is not good enough to say, yes, this will cure your disease. No, can't say that.
What about kids with autism? Will the Vima formula in a way help them with their condition?
Okay. Very big topic, but it deals with children. Autism is not a diagnosis. It's a statement of ignorance. We don't know what's going on, we say autism. They check for brain damage, they check for other things, and the picture doesn't fit into any of that. And all those are considered autistic. And if you look at autistic children, they are from this range to this range. children that can be given special schooling and almost brought to normal, and the other extreme, there's nothing much you can do. Okay, in this range, they find that they have several problems nutritionally, in addition to whatever else is happening. Okay? They usually suffer from constipation. They don't move their bowels that well, autistic children. Okay? Their eating habits are not that good if they are left to themselves. Now, for both of this, Vima will help. It will give them the proper nutrition. When you get proper nutrition, your bowel movement will be better. You may have to use other methods, more vegetables, more fruits and so on to move them. Okay? Autistic children also have very toxic livers. So many of these protocols also calls for proper bowel movements. To further support liver function, Vima is important because it has got antioxidants. Antioxidants help to neutralize, you see, when you have a toxic liver, free radical activity goes up. To help reduce that, this would be important. The amount of antioxidant activity in one serving of Vima is equivalent to about 2000 plus. The measurement is called ORAC. It's not a good measurement, but that's the only measurement we have. So you can be sure the child is getting the daily requirement of antioxidants. So these three things will be helpful.
All right. Okay. I'm sorry. I've got a lot of questions because after the exhibition, I was quiet with.
Okay.
Okay. So, guys, if you guys have got any questions, please raise your hand, and I'll let you guys ask the questions first. Okay? If not, I'll ask all the questions. Okay, me. Hold on. I'll ask some more. Okay. It is mentioned that the verb is safe for diabetics.
For the diabetic.
Verb, right?
Yes.
What about the Vima formula?
Now the Vima, we are looking at one full serving is 35 calories. Body thirst is about 70, 75 I think, if I remember, this is about 70. So all our products are within a very low calorie range. In other words, diabetic, those are looking at their weight, trying to manage their weight, you don't have to worry about it. All you get is very good nutrition.
Alright, but what if I take the Vima formula like 10 a.m. in the morning, okay, and at 12 noon I take my verb. Is it still safe for diabetics to actually drink it that way?
Okay, let's add up. Let's say on top of all that you also take body thirst.
Okay.
You're looking at something which is less than 200. So it's about 170 calories per day, for which in return you're getting the full day's nutrition. If you're taking all three, you're getting even more.
So can I say that? Before my son goes to school, okay, I can say Joel, come, okay, go on the Vima formula first, okay, and during the physical activity, okay, he can actually have his body thirst, okay, in school, okay, and if he really come back from school, he's so tired and all that, I'm able to serve him both too. He's able to take it from the fridge. So it is safe for kids to actually consume the Vima formula like that too.
That's right.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Okay, next question.
Yeah, doctor, I have one question is, verb contains of choline, and will this choline sufficient level to help to boost up the intelligence for the children? Boost up the intelligence.
Intelligence. Now, I didn't mention it there, but it also has choline and inositol. Now, this one is very important for nerve function. Okay. Now, what we have here is not enough to support your nerve function. That was not the whole idea. Now, choline and inositol is also involved in energy production. So the amount added here is more for them, not for nerve protection. You need more than that, which you can get from the fruit. Okay, so it's not that high. If you put it that high, then the product becomes a little different. The taste and the cost and all that will be different. Here it is mainly basic nutrition plus pleasure.
All right, next question.
Dr. Ibrahim, thank you for the talk. I just want to ask, a lot of our kids in Singapore, we have very bad eyesight, and like more than 50% of them suffer myopia. So I was wondering whether, is it because of nutritional deficiency? Yeah, because the doctor always say, because they read too many books, watch TV too much. But I suspect it's a nutritional deficiency. Our kids don't have certain vitamins. It's causing them to lose their eye, their good eyesight. And if it is the case, would EMA help?
Wearing glasses has become a global problem. They find that among the Chinese, Koreans, and Japanese, the incidence of glasses is very high. And among the three, in China, it is even higher. With a population of 1.3 billion, more than 1/4 of them are wearing glasses. Okay, and growing fast. Why? Nobody knows. But one thing is for sure, we strain our eyes much more than previous generation. Say about 150 years ago, no electricity. After 7, 8 p.m. you can't see anything. So the eyes have a complete rest for almost 10 hours. Only next morning you can see things clearly. Nobody attempts to read, see. Today we have electricity. We not only read, see things longer, we are also looking at things that provide a lot of stress to the eye. For example, computer, TV, it's not just the light. If you look towards the side, you can see it flickering at fast speeds. Now that is even more strenuous. You can see it also. For example, this light, I can have a look at it till a while before I get tired. But if this light is half fused, like that, after a while you feel very tired. But the ones on the TV screen and computer, they're more subtle. We don't notice it, and we really have a lot of problems because of increased usage, not so much nutrition. When you watch TV or computer screens, normal conversation will be blinking several times, you know. But when you do work on the computer or watching TV, you don't blink that often. Now that makes the surface of the eye dry. When it becomes dry, the surfaces starts to crinkle. It won't happen tomorrow or next week. Over a long period of time, there will be changes. Now to adjust to that differing refractive surface, which must be absolutely smooth, our 6 muscles of the eyeball have to pull here and there to set it right. So you put a stress on the muscles. Now that stress is the one that causes a bit of headache or eye ache. Otherwise you will not feel anything. Over a period of time you have muscle imbalances in the eye. Okay, there are causes for that actually. How to do eye exercise and all that to balance the muscles back. And in fact I would say you should be doing eye exercises. Simple eye exercises like rotating your eyeballs clockwise, anti-clockwise and so on. And must practice more frequent blinking.
Sometimes take your eyeball out to wash.
And then you said that I'm reminded of a case when I was starting work in typing. Those days artificial eyes were like marbles. At night you put it into a glass of water, next morning you take and put it back, see? So in the middle of the night the patient was very thirsty, he saw the water, he drank it. and swallowed the eye in the water. Then he realized.
My God. All right, do you have any other questions? Okay.
Usually Singapore people, how to educate the parents the importance of nutrition or vitamins or supplements? Is that like no point that we say, hey, this is very good, this is very good. Then how to educate them to know that it is important for the kids? products?
Thank you. That I think not many people ask that question. It's an important question. If you ask me, this is the impression I have. In Singapore, you don't have to convince the parents about nutrition. They are very conscious. Unlike in Malaysia, here large number, almost all, they don't listen because they are not sure what you are saying is reliable. And that is why I said the company profile first. In fact, to parents, you have to present the company. In Singapore, people are willing to take something for their health, but they want to know this is good quality. It's worth the money that I'm paying for, you know. Once they're convinced of that, then it's okay. Okay? This is where you need to give the background first. You see, nutritional products, almost every pharmacy carries a few brands, not one or two. So most parents don't take it because they're not sure what is the quality like. Sometimes you can't even judge it by the price. It may be expensive, but it may not be that much more effective. So I think explaining to them the credibility of the company is more important. And then it will be easier to carry the second part of the message. Yes.
I think the important part is, I think the doctor should educate them. But sometimes I think in Singapore, the doctor don't believe in that. They eat a lot of food, can already. You know, all these supplements is not necessary.
That's correct. Now, this problem is not as bad as, say, 20 years ago. 20 years ago, you'll get scolded. Who asked you to take this? What nonsense is this? This is all rubbish. You know? Now, they don't say much. But if you ask them, they will tell you no need. See? Now, to be fair, some of them now are actively, not to say actively, they will say, okay, there's no harm, we can take it. But still a large number don't. There was a survey done, not here in the US, something like about 75% of the doctors don't recommend nutritional products. Then they took a second survey. How many of the doctors take supplements? 55% took supplements. Now, why don't they recommend it then? Now, they are a little worried. Will I say the wrong thing? Okay? Now, I think the best way to approach the problem is ask your doctor, are you familiar with food supplements? If he says no, don't ask him. If you say, is this good, he is cornered. So even if he doesn't know, better don't take it.
Yeah. I understand that Bima consists of langoustines, a lot of antioxidants. Yeah. But I do come across some companies which is using langoustines too, and they have antioxidants, etc., etc. And how do you compare like Bima and also this company?
Okay. Many people say can't mention name. I will mention the name. Zango. Okay, they are selling mangosteen juice. Have you taken their juice? Very nice to drink. Very nice to drink. Okay. Now what they have is mangosteen juice. Full stop. I think some of the berry juice is also added to enhance the taste, which is good. Okay. Now when you take only juice, today we have extraction methods which can get or preserve a lot of enzymes. So it is good to take that, no question about that. What we are offering is real value for money in the sense that we have got 12 vitamins, 65 minerals. I list this because this is not found there. Okay? When it comes to antioxidants, we have a report done by a third-party lab to show the amount of antioxidants in the Bima product is much higher than either Zango or Monavi. Monavi has got 19 fruits and vegetable extracts, mostly fruits. Excellent stuff again. But we have even more. Okay. So if you look for any product with this profile, You can't find it in the market. There's none at the moment. I'm sure there will be somebody who wants to do the same thing. They might do that, no? But at the moment, no. If you buy these products separately, it will cost you about 2 to 2.5 times what it costs now. Okay? We are able to provide this pricing for this product. It's very difficult to have minerals in liquid form. Many people have it in very concentrated, you put in water, mix and drink, and it tastes like salt, all kinds of taste. I remember giving my elderly mother a few extra drops of that some years ago. She immediately vomited. You react to that because it's very concentrated. Here it is mixed in such a way that, no, none of that problem. All that is expensive. To put vitamin A, B and E, all are oil-based, into watery liquid form, no joke. Okay? We are already experimenting with omega-3 to go into that. You will have an even more complete product when it comes out. Okay? Okay.
All right, and Dr. Abraham, why am I stuttering? Okay, and another point to mention is the bioavailability of the product also, right? So ours is how many percent?
Now, percentage will depend on the health of your stomach, the quality of the product, the time of the day. On an empty stomach, early morning absorption is better. But the range, roughly, everything else being equal, if you take a tablet, it's anything from about 40 to 60. Whereas with liquid, it can be anything from 80 to 95 absorption.
So the absorption rate basically is only as good as your own digestive system.
Yes.
If my digestive system is crap, so this morning I'll take the pill, next morning it will come out the same form, maybe.
It could come out.
All right.
Why? The regulation is such that if you take a drug in pill form, that drug can be passed for marketing if it passes the breaking test. In other words, you put it in an average stomach, it must disintegrate in 5 to 7 minutes. If it doesn't do that, it will not be approved. Nutritional products, no such requirement. Okay? So, if the producer is an honest producer, he will put in the technology for breaking it up. Someone who wants to save on that will not do that. It will break up maybe 1 hour later. Some of them never break up.
Okay, guys, any more questions?
Can I just ask, because I'm just curious, where does the whole spectrum of vitamins come from?
The spectrum of vitamins.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not from this combination of aloe and mangosteen and green tea alone.
No,
right?
no.
So are they synthetic?
Yes.
Are they synthetic?
Yes.
Wow.
Now, many people are worried, synthetic. Okay, now there are various sources now. Vitamin D has to come from fish oil. Okay, vitamin E and A has to come from vegetable oil. The whole thing is a vegetarian formula. If you look at B and C, now these two vitamins can be synthesized in the lab exactly as it is found in nature. That's why vitamin C is so cheap. If you take an orange, you will get anything between 70 to 200 milligrams of vitamin C in an orange. Buy a vitamin C 500 milligram tablet. It will probably cost you 30 cents. Now, if that has to be obtained from oranges, your vitamin C will be easily $2 to $3 or more. Okay? No. All the vitamin C in the market are produced in the lab. And this is not produced by any Tom, Dick and Harry. There are only 6 companies in the world that produce vitamin C. Okay? All those who say they do it, they actually buy from there, they add whatever they want to add, and say we have produced this. But the vitamin C comes only from those sources. Vitamin B complex, even from lesser number of companies. Vitamin B12 is very, very expensive. 1 pound is worth about $1 million. but the requirement is only about this thing is something like about 2 to about 6 micrograms. Okay, so if you're carrying vitamin B12 or about few hundred grams, don't sneeze up to $200,000 gone. So these are synthesized actually. They are synthesizing it and using it because they are able to do it to get the final product exactly like what is found in the body, and it is used by the body. And B12, who are the specialists? Japanese. B12.
Or any more questions? Guys, now is the best time, it's a real doctor standing in front of you, by the way. Free consultation, huh? You're not going to send us the invoice, right? Is that Abraham? Alright guys, okay, Dr. Abraham, thank you for sharing all this with us. Shall we give him a round of applause, please? Okay, frankly speaking, the Vima formula is not good. The Vima formula is fantastic. Okay, super bioavailable. Okay, it is very good for kids 2 to 12, 1 ounce, half a cup. Okay, and for adults, 2 ounces, the full glass. Okay, and let me change. Okay, I give up. Okay, and basically, hey, it's working. Hold on. Okay, this is much better. Okay, so basically, the Vima formula is a fantastic nutritional product. Okay, liquid-based, super bioavailable. Absorption rate is up to 99.99%. Good for kids, good for adults. So a lot of people actually suffer from what? Constipation. All right, kids don't eat enough vegetables and fruits. They gonna what? Constipation. Adults suffer constipation every time you go to the toilet. The next door go. Okay, you heard it before. Okay, but when they come out, as if they don't have any constipation. All right, but this is a very serious problem. Okay, this is a very common problem that not a lot of people actually wants to admit. All right, so people with constipation, no problem. Recommend them the Vima formula. They drink it today. Tomorrow, when they go to the toilet, it comes out very nice. Okay, so again, please, we have got some products over here. Okay, whoever who wants to purchase, okay, and bring it home right now, share with your family, do so. Okay, go to the person who recommend you here today. Okay, they will be able to help you process, okay, the payment, the order, then you are able to take the product away today. So before we let Dr. Abraham go, he's very valuable. Do we have any last questions for him? Yes, no? No? Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot. Oh my God. Okay, guys. Dr. Abraham is going to stick around for a while. Okay, can I invite everybody to just go behind, grab the Vima formula, okay, taste it. Okay, let's mingle around for a while. Then if you have got any questions, you are able to approach myself, okay, Dr. Abraham or some other leaders over here. Okay, and before we do that, by the way, we are all able to consume the Vima formula for free. All right, so who in the world, can you go to GNC, buy your vitamin pills, okay, and say next month, hey man, I want to collect the free GNC vitamins from you? No way. But in Vima, we allow you, okay, we give you the opportunity to actually consume the Vima formula for free. Okay, it can be the Vima formula, the body test, the Verve, even our slimming products, okay, the Vima body weight management program. Okay, you are able to consume it for free. And again, to thank you, okay, for consuming the product. All I need you guys to do is to recommend 3 friends, okay, who is able to purchase the good formula every month. you are going to get your formula for free every month. Okay, so without further ado, go back to your friends who have invited you over here, and they will share a lot more with you. All right, so let's proceed behind to taste the product.